Denmark, one of the freest nations in modern times. In 1836, Denmark was a rump state, having lost its unions over the Norwegian and the Swedish crown, and only retaining small holdings in the North Atlantic, Greenland, Iceland, as well as some small holdings over Africa. The Danish crown really needs to up its game if it wants to become one of the ultimate colonial nations and reclaim its old territories. As the Danes, we don't have many things that we start off with, but we have pretty decent technology. In fact, we've got some of the best technology at the start of the campaign, so we're going to make that work for us. We're going to start with atmospheric engine pumps, water tube boilers, straight up mechanical tools, and nationalism, because we want to quickly industrialize the country and use our industry to fuel our expansion. Now, we do have Greenland, the Danish Carnatic, and the Danish Pegu as our colonies that are pretty isolated. That means we do have to build a port in there, but that's not a major priority for me right now. I'm going to start by switching over some of the production methods here to the proper production methods. We do not have any coal mines and we don't have any iron mines, but we can build iron mines in the Danish Carnatic. We can actually build just one. So in essence, for all intent and purposes, we start with no actual resources as the Danes, so we have to struggle to get initial mines more than anything else. Government wise, we of course start with the landowners, as pretty much everybody does. However, our legislation is not as bad as you would imagine. We have tenant farmers, interventionism. We do want to continue that modernization, so we're going to bring in the petite bourgeoisie and the church into the government, and we're going to start by enacting cultural exclusion. If this works, we'll be able to bring in more migrants from adjacent countries all over Europe. We're going to be getting some declared interests in South Africa, the Middle East, and in essence areas where it's easy to quickly grab some land, such as South America, because remember, South America does have Argentina, Chile, both areas that have iron mines. They've got coal mines, sulfur mines. So by grabbing Argentina especially, we allow to have these basic resources for starting our industrial process. Getting Argentina is actually pretty easy. We start with 14 ships as well as 18 line infantry, mobile artillery, and cavalry. We're going to be upgrading all of these to the latest, of course. I'm also going to change to secular administration, my government administration center, so I get more bureaucrats, which will allow me to modernize a slight bit faster as bureaucrats align with more of the legislations that I want to enact. Now, for now, we're going to need to find a good trade partner with which we can have a lot of trade routes with. Getting a trade agreement with, say, the British or the French would actually be optimal, but it's not as easy as you'd imagine. From my test run so far, the British are the easiest, quote unquote, to get the trade agreement with, but we do have to increase our trade volume and we have to be a little bit lucky more than anything else. Can get some more rivals, and we're gonna do the Swedes as well as all the smaller nations within Germany, so we have a ton of influence points after. Pretty crazy. We start with 6,000 influence. That is honestly insane. So we're gonna use that to improve relations with all the great powers in Europe, including the Austrians, even the Spaniards. I shouldn't call them the great power, but they're still there, okay? So I've disbanded a few of my cavalry units. I don't really need that many to fight against Transvaal and the African and uncivilized nations, that's for sure. We do have, remember, mobile artillery and line infantry. Most nations don't even know what that is. Zulu does have quite a few units, however, so we got to be a little bit careful. They might even make some gains if we don't take them serious. Oh, look at that. We got gold in Transvaal. That is actually insane. See, that goes to show that having the right technology really makes a massive difference. So now once we get the 30,000 people to work in here, we're going to make absolutely bank from just the one province we recently conquered. We're literally making 6,500 weekly from Transvaal. That is crazy, man. All right, well, looks like these irregulars are definitely no match for mobile artillery, and we've basically taken Zululand too. Now Orange, let's see what's the situation. There's still independence guaranteed by the British, so we're not going to bother with them for now. You know, when you really think about it, it's a good thing that we conquered these lands because we have slavery banned and we're basically the good guys compared to everybody else that owned lands here before. Now the problem is that we need to make sure we connect all three of these states to our country, so we're going to need to build a port either in Zululand or Lorenzo Marquez. We're going to need to make that a priority, so we're going to do that now. There you go. We can do road maintenance, which is going to make it a little bit faster. Unfortunately, pretty much all of the Yemeni area has guaranteed independence by the Russians. I don't know why this happens, but it happens almost in every game, so that's off limits for now, unfortunately. Is we could attack Ashanti and conquer the two starting provinces it has. This way we get a bit of of a foothold in West Africa too, not just in South Africa. Exactly what I was saying before, guys. Denmark is one of the most underrated colonial powers in the game. They will feel very confident with the fact that they've got more units than us, so we're gonna defend front here. That means we're gonna let the Ashanti attack us, and once they've drained their manpower pool enough from those failed attacks, we're gonna push in afterwards ourselves. There you go, look at that. They're absolutely getting their asses handed to them. They lost more than half of their manpower pool in literally 2 attacks right there. Now let's go ahead and advance with our fronts. We actually can use a cautious advance with this particular general, which is perfect. I've also queued up the rest of the ports that we have around the world, and we're gonna make sure that we have the decree enacted in those areas whenever we're building there. And also look at that, boys. We've expanded into South Africa considerably. I like how the province of Togo is like the north ours, the south ours, but there's a little bit of a strip here that is not yet colonized by the Ewe people. Also, check out our population. We're like taking steps after steps, going up more and more. We still have Danish as the primary, and then we have Akan, Zulu, Nguni, Tonga, Sotho. We absolutely need cultural exclusion. The reality is, this run is absolutely dependent on us getting cultural exclusion if we don't want to collapse here. We're going to become a multicultural empire in essence. The best part is that it's basically little to no infamy taking these lands. We also have our leader here, King Christian von Oldenburg, that has the cautious trait, which lowers the infamy generation by 20%. So it's almost as if the game really expects the Danes to start a colonial empire. Oh, and thanks to our gold mines in South Africa, we're on very low taxation right now, so everyone's just insanely happy with our rule. All right, looks like another one literally bites the dust. Dahomey joined the gang. I mean, the colonial empire. We're totally not a gang, guys. Come on. All right, we do need some more government administration though, so let's get one in Zealand and one in Jutland. But we're gonna be cautious here, and we're gonna be going for Borgu next, since nobody usually joins on the side of Borgu. If anything, Sokoto might try and attack him at the same time, from what I've noticed. But with Borgu out of the way, we do have also a border now with Sokoto, which has, as you would imagine, a lot of really good raw materials in the province of East Hossaland, 72 coal mines, another 45 iron mines and lead mines in Nigeria. So I guess you could say it's prime real estate. And also we go into ascent phase. It is a little bit scary though, because we went with success down to 15%, so that's kind of oof. I hope we pass that, otherwise we might need to restart the game. Not even joking, the entire run is based off whether we can pass cultural exclusion or not, because again, most of our pops are not even Danish right now. Of course, the idea behind me starting these colonies is not that we're actually going to finish them, but it is that we're going to grab one province from each of these regions, which we can maybe trade later down the line, and also go for level 2 colonial affairs. I kind of forgot to do that earlier. Actually, we do have iron mines we can build in Transvaal, so let's get one iron mine built in here. Let's prioritize it too. Let's bring it at the top of the queue for that matter. The British have also canceled their proclaimed guarantee on Orange, so we can now attack them too. This is the literal definition of free real estate, by the way, guys. And because we do have such amazing technology, I'm fairly certain that right after we take Orange, we're going to be able to discover gold in here too, because Riestad is the state that technically has more gold than Transvaal, if I'm not mistaken. And whatever the case, both of these states have coal mines and iron mines, so they are absolutely vital to us. I am going to prioritize most of my economy in Transvaal though, since Transvaal is a little bit bigger than Orange, if I'm not mistaken. 580 and 414 population. That's a little bit of a difference there. Hey, freaking finally, boys, we managed to get our cultural exclusion. So let's check actually now how accepted our populations are. Almost everybody has 20 acceptance, right, as a base acceptance, which is not bad. It's better than 0 acceptance, but it's not yet there, unfortunately. We do have Icelandic, Boer, and North German and Ashkenazi as 60 acceptance, which is way better. So we also need to do a bit more with our religion next. So what we can do is we can go for total separation, which is going to give 15 acceptance to everybody in essence, bringing our acceptance for our country to 35 for the African provinces. But as I said earlier, we also need dedicated police force, and that's actually easy to pass, quote unquote easy anyway. Also, I just realized I probably could sustain some construction sectors, so let's get one construction sector in Transvaal for now. Now I'm actually going to make it an iron frame building construction sector, as well as I'm going to be incorporating Transvaal and Orange for that matter too. Having a state incorporated means that you actually tax the people there, as well as whatever institutions you have will also affect the people in those states. Plus you get more market access, price impact, and a few other bonuses, so it is preferred to incorporate as much as you can, as long as of course you have the bureaucracy for it. Ooh, gold field depleted. That is not the best of time for that that to happen, but it's fine. We can prioritize the gold mines, I guess. 6 gold mines in here. A famous cafe. Gunther Midwish will become a permanent resident. He is a market liberal. Oh, hell yes. Oh my god, we actually got a market liberal in our country. That is so freaking random. Okay, you know what? We're gonna be really trying our best here to make this guy leader of our political party, because if that happens, then we can go for laissez-faire and a few other laws that we'd really like to pass. And also check it out, we got the water tube boilers. Next we're doing nationalism, but we're going to be getting significantly more out of our gold mines now, as well as all the other mines that we have with the condensed engine pumps. So we're going to make insane amounts of money basically. Also doing a cheeky little naval invasion in South America. We want to have a foothold from which we can easily invade into Argentina afterwards, and of course that's going to be Uruguay, which only has 4 units, so it's basically free real estate, and we're going to directly own Uruguay. We're not going to puppet them or anything of the sort. Oh, British want to give me military assistance. Yes, sure. Don't mind if I do. Does that mean they would like to get a trade agreement? They want to get a defensive pact. Okay, maybe after this defensive pact. Yeah, there you go. After the defensive pact, we now almost can get that trade agreement. I don't want to give them obligations though. Oh, I have to wait until my GDP grows a little bit. Then we can get this trade agreement without having to give obligations to the Brits. Oh, I am so not joining to your power block. Hell no. You know what? I'm going to give you obligation just so I get that trade agreement, and so I don't have to join your power block. Hails to the no, my dude. What the hell? If you join the British power block, within 5 years, what happens is you're going to become a subject of the British, and that is not ideal. And there you go. We got our first direct possession in South America, Juicy Smoolier. We see that Platinians have 60 acceptance plus another 15 from being Catholic, so they have 75 acceptance, second-class citizens, but likely to become first-class citizens or full acceptance citizens eventually. It's the same for most of Argentina, since they have a lot of Platinium culture pops in here. So honestly, I kind of hate saying this, but I feel like maybe I should just conquer these lands. It's not too much infamy considering we have Christian von Oldenburg, and owning these lands directly will kind of help us out a lot more than having them as a subject, to be fair. We're also going to do a quick naval invasion into Marina to add them to our subject swarm. Give up your freaking independence. It's time to become Danish, okay? In fact, you know what? The people of Marina told me they want to become... If the people of Marina want to become Danish, we're only trying to help them out. You know what I'm doing. You definitely know what I'm doing.
It's a lovely place. It's got lots of the resources. They want freedom. They want to be a part of us.
There you go. One more for the vassal swarm. Let's go ahead and improve relations with them now. I do believe Marina is isolated from our markets because they don't have a port. So I'm going to be giving them their own market, which is going to get rid of the +1 liberty desire that they had from being separated from our market. However, they do not have the economic dependence on us, so that is also an issue. Ludi, how come you've got 49 infamy? It's because we're going to fully annex Argentina. Yeah, that's right. I decided to be an absolute scumbag. It's basically like 32 infamy to fully annex Argentina, but by fully annexing it now, so early in the campaign, we will slowly but surely build up an insane amount of industry, increase our population with semi-accepted pops, and just we'll be thriving a lot more. They don't get fully annexed though. They still keep the province of Jujuy because I did not have a declared interest in Jujuy prior, so I'm gonna get one now, which means that I'm gonna have to fight the Argentinians again when the truce is over. But they're gonna be basically a one small province minor between us and Peru, Bolivia. Oh, this is the world's easiest war imaginable. I mean, we got skirmish infantry against, I don't know, probably irregulars or line infantry. All right, there you go. We got a ton of land. So we have grown to 4.4 million GDP, and we have a huge chunk of South America already. We do need to incorporate this, okay? So next step is going to be, of course, incorporating all of these conquered provinces. Also, guys, remember that in Victoria 3, there is this mechanic where after you've conquered a province for 10 years roughly, you have to wait until they get rid of the recently conquered modifier, which lowers tax collection and so on. So after 10 years of campaign, we're gonna properly be taking advantage of all these states, as you would imagine. It's not an instant sort of thing, that's for sure. Also, I love the fact that it's only 5 years to incorporate all of this because they are an accepted pops for us. Now, we also can reduce autonomy for our 2 southern states because remember, we just got the nationalism Freaking Holstein, man. They actually want to fight me for this. There you go, Holstein. Now you're going to have to pay me war reparations as well alongside your tithes, brother. Seeing as we also have some massive shortages of paper, I have decided to queue up a paper mill before we finish the rest of the gold mines. And because we also went below 50 infamy, we're attacking Paraguay, which again has a lot of Platinian population in one of their states. So we can grab even more accepted pops. I'm actually curious to see what my population looks like now. So we got still Danish as primary, surprisingly. We do have Platinian as our third largest group of people. Okay, so our top two cultures in our country are now very much so accepted cultures. Platinian on average are full accepted with 85 acceptance. Wait, are they Protestant? I didn't know they're Protestant. And we also just granted leadership to the landowners, a market liberal leader who is apparently inept. Well, don't we have modern leaders in our country? Inepticus Maximus would be on board with us getting homesteading though, as well as free trade would be awesome for us since we would be able to trade more stuff that we need. There's honestly so many different laws that we need to pass. It's crazy. I'm going to attempt homesteading first though, because that would increase our standard of living in our country by quite a bit. Now, obviously, the very first company we're going to establish is the Gold Company of Denmark in the province of Transvaal. This will give us more minting as well as loyalists from political movements, so it is a no-brainer. And we absolutely can get more construction sectors now too. So let's get one in, say, Zealand, just because we don't have any right now in our capital. Okay, we apparently can sustain a lot more construction sectors, so let's go ahead and do that. We haven't even started privatizing anything, so we really can probably do 60 construction by now. We do have a Platinian national movement. Kind of surprised me, to be honest. South America wants to secede, so we're gonna have to crush their spirits. Well, if it isn't the ungrateful South Americans. I gave you everything, and this is how you repay me, huh? And it's Jover for them. It's actually Jover for them. We won, boys. We abso-freaking-lutely won. World's easiest war imaginable. A bunch of freaking scumbag rebels thinking they can take on the might of the Danish army. Okay, now that that's done, let's see. We've got a little bit of devastation, but we have significantly less turmoil. People have expressed their grievances and they got crushed, and now they cannot grievance anymore. For the time being, at least. And it also seems like we have 3 possible gold mines we can get in Tucumán, so we're going to prioritize that too. We are very close actually to getting railways, so we're going to do that next after mechanized workshops, which means we're going to be able to get infrastructure in Tucumán. The biggest issue in the western parts of Argentina is just infrastructure. Right now we have +2, but the reality is that once we build the gold mines, we're going to start having minus infrastructure, so we're going to absolutely be required to build railways. We also still have shortages of paper, so let's go ahead and get some more paper, and apparently more fertilizer, wood, furniture. A lot of basic use stuff apparently is in high demand right now. All right, so we got the basic homesteading for our pops, which means now we can start going for some other legislation that we desperately need, like universal suffrage. I genuinely think universal suffrage would be of huge help to everyone, and we lost our market liberal a few moments ago. We now have a Democrat, which means that he will more than be happy to get universal suffrage enacted, so we have the support for that now. We're also on very low taxation, and we're still making money, so we need to expand our construction sector. And we have the option of switching over to universal suffrage, but that would piss off the rural folk in the Church of Denmark, so we get bonuses pissing off the church. Ayo. Now I want to also be annexing the southern states here, simply because I don't necessarily want to have some really small subjects. Like, look at this. Holstein is like 5 people in there. That's it, right? That's just annoying. I'm already annoyed with Marina being super disloyal. I don't need these guys in Europe as well. And we can do a second company. Right now, the only one we can do is the forestry company, so we're gonna go for that. We might change this one around afterwards though. The super cool part about our empire is that we can actually get opium plantations. We can also get silk plantations because of our colonies around the world. And apparently we're getting Bosniaks to migrate as well. So apparently we have reform at gunpoint. We can choose to enable parliamentary republic. Oh wow. You know what? That actually is not so bad. I'm gonna go for parliamentary republic. That honestly, in my opinion, is the best type of government. So we kind of won out of that one, didn't we? And I'm also getting rid of the last vestiges here of Argentina. Unfortunately, I kind of forgot to add protectorate on Chile. I was going to do it, but I genuinely just forgot because I got too mixed up with the revolution and the legislation and everything. So Chile got away. They just basically got away right now. We did lose a lot of authority points because we stopped being a monarchy. So we're going to have to cancel some of the decrees, unfortunately. Well, what? The church wants censorship, color me surprised. Dude, I was saying Tucumán already has 94 infrastructure, so we're gonna have to queue up a railway, make this the first place in our country where we get a railway going. Remember how earlier I said that I'm gonna be using the whole colonize this and that as a tactic to get free land? Well, check it out. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna trade with the British, the state of Danish Kenya, which has 20,000 pops and 5,000 GDP, in exchange for British Guyana. That's right, we're taking the big-ass Guyanan state in South America. We do need to offer obligations though, because it's not enough for them, but it does work. And look at this, Denmark now owns the state next to our beloved ally Venezuela, making it easier for us to also invade the Dutch Guyanan parts once we're ready to attack them, because the Dutch are natural enemies, let's face it. Plus, more importantly, the British Guyana has 2 gold mines that we need, of course, for strategic gold having reasons. Nothing really says freedom, multiculturalism, and democracy, as well as us passing public health insurance whilst also invading Congo, does it? Hello there, Portugal. I'm your new neighbor. Can I have a cup of opium or maybe rubber? Seeing as we have such low infamy, I decided to make Sokoto my next subject. It's only 20 infamy, and Sokoto does have, as you probably realized by now, a lot of resources that we're interested in. I'm also going to try and get more subjects because I plan on making my own power block, and we're going to need as many subjects as possible here to make this power block more powerful. Give it a proper Viking name, and there you go. The League of Multiculturalism. It's here, boys. We also got public health insurance, so it's even better than most multicultural empires, okay? Although technically we're probably the first one, aren't we? Come at me, Sokoto. Okay, we definitely can get more construction sectors now too. They want to increase their autonomy. How about no? How's that sound? Imagine thinking it can be anything else except a puppet of mine, bro. Hey, we do have Liberty Desire going down now, actually, so that's pretty good. There you go. Another member, a part of the league now. Let's go ahead and improve relations with them. And we can also attack next Peru, Bolivia, and which only costs 19 infamy to make into a puppet. Oh, for Christ's sake. Really, Marina? You sided with Peru, Bolivia, brother? Come on. Oh, we got Germans migrating to our lands. That means we have a paradise, basically, doesn't it? I'm gonna send out my 15 units here to invade Madagascar to teach them a lesson. You absolute schnitzeldorfs. Was it worth it, Madagascar? Was it worth it? Okay, now we're starting to push, and we're making massive advances. They got a revolution, and the revolutionary state has genuinely some of the best laws I've seen enacted. Universal suffrage, racial segregation, parliamentary republic, interventionism. Compared to Peru's actual laws, this is just juicy, man. Unfortunately, they are a very short-lived state, though. So we're doing a few naval invasions here in Peru, Bolivia to make it a lot easier to conquer their lands. And there you go. Now they're our new subject, gonna improve with them. And our power block has 2 more extra mandate it's getting from the minor power members. However, we are fractured, so we do need to make sure we improve our relations with our subjects in order to not be so much fractured as we are. And we have a trade offer from the French Empire. They want to give us the Ivory Coast, which is not bad. That's actually right next to our lands in West Africa. You see what I'm saying, guys? You see, this is one little province, and they're giving me an entire state for that. Hell yes, it's worth it. Look at that, boyos. We got the entirety of the Ivory Coast from the French, which means we now have more access to colonize Masina, Kong, and so on. I am going to give Chile the exact same treatment I gave Argentina. I'm going to be basically annexing all of their provinces because majority of their population is South Andean, which is a European heritage pop, so they're going to be basically accepted like my primary culture. That being said, I'm going to let them keep the province of Patagonia because they haven't yet fully colonized it. So once they fully colonize Patagonia, I'll attack them and take Patagonia too. We do have claims on Buenos Aires as well as on Mapuche, but we do not have claims on Patagonia. So if we were to fully annex them, it's likely that Britain or somebody else is going to colonize the coastline here, and then we're going to have to fight the British Empire to take the rest of Patagonia. We don't want that, so we're going to keep them alive in one province and attack them once they're done. And there you have it. Even more of the New World is now full lands of the Danish Empire. It's funny how I haven't even bothered getting the Scandinavian parts of Denmark. I've just been focusing on the New World and parts of the colonial areas in Africa and in Asia. And it's actually played out way better, because if I was to attack Sweden, sure, it would be decent, right? It wouldn't be too bad. But reality is that it's so much aggressive expansion, or better yet, infamy, to take the Swedish land. lands, and you just get like a few primary accepted cultures, true, but resource-wise, aside from Svealand and Norland, it's not much resources in the north. I'm getting 10 times more resources and economic growth from the New World and from Africa and from Asia. So I genuinely think that the meta is basically just go full-on colonial as the Danes if you want to survive and honestly become a great power yourself. We're really close to that right now. Oh my god, we have so much support for technocracy. What? Oh dude, should I do it? I kind of just want to do it to see what it looks like. I know it's a step back technically, but I really just want to see this happen. So we now have a good 22 million GDP, which means we are right behind the Prussians. Oh my god, that is actually crazy. We're basically about to overtake the Prussians. We're also on very low taxation level, and we're not even really trying as much as we should. We got North Germans migrating. That's how much they love us back in Prussia. I guess I could start to ramp up my construction sectors, get some more construction sectors to go in South America. Also, we're going to continue to do amazingly good trade deals here. So we're going to give the Danish Windward Coast, which has 40,000 population and 10,000 GDP, in exchange for Dutch Guiana, meaning we got even more of South America without having to fight for it. We just need the French Guiana, and then all of the Guiana is ours. This is especially good because, like you know, there's gold mines here, and there's a lot of really good resources too alongside the gold mines. Not sure, but I do think that rubber spawns in here if I'm not mistaken as well at some point. And look at that, we overtook the Prussians. Next target is overtaking the Austrians now. And also we just discovered another 5 gold fields, so yeah, Guyana is amazing. Let's see what the French would like for their part of Guyana now. Maybe Danish Senegal Gambia or Danish Mauritania. Mauritania is like the worst one. I don't even need to give them obligations. They would give me Guyana in exchange for this little Mauritanian Schnitzeldorf. Brother, what? Oh my god, brother. We got 8 gold fields and 4 gold mines. I am genuinely in love with this run. This is by far one of the most fun run I had so far. I played Montenegro prior to this, which was absolutely cancerous. So this is genuinely a good breeze of fresh air, right? What else they want? They want Dutch Ghana in exchange for Denmark Ivory Coast. Which one's my Ivory Coast? Oh, it's this one. Okay. And they give me Dutch Ghana. We're good, Netherlands. Thank you. All right. Next up, we're going to try and do a few textile mills around our country. Okay. So we just had a really bad thing happen. Chile disappeared. How did Chile disappear? They lost a war against the natives, and because the only province that Chile had left was Patagonia, they just flat out disappeared. So now nobody has a claim on Patagonia. It means everybody can colonize Patagonia. Oh my god, I wish I freaking just took what they had so I don't need to colonize the entirety of the freaking region out. This is like worst case scenario, honestly. Now, to make myself feel better, I decided it's time to invade Vietnam, and the only reason I'm actually doing this is because they have silk production or potential for silk production here, and we do need some silk plantations. Right now we're importing all of our silk from the British or from Qing, and I want to have a domestic production, not have to rely on anybody else to make my clothes. Also, what the hell? There's a diplomatic play between the French and the no, Prussia's forming Germany. Oh, this is not good. This is really not good. Oh my god, this is really not good. Holy mother. Yeah, that's pretty bad right there. That's pretty bad. You want to unify with Schleswig-Holstein too. I love how I've got Sokoto units here pulling their weight, and Venezuelan troops too. Looks like the French are helping out in Europe, and that's good because I've got no troops right there right now. Come on, boys, win the war. We need to go back to Europe. Come on. I'm desperate here. Please just advance already. Oh, wow. The French are actually holding on to the front line here, and we just finished in Vietnam, making them our next subject. So now we can go back and actually defend in Europe against the Prussians. Oh my god, we're really winning against the Prussians. Holy shit, the French have pulled their weight, haven't they? Okay, let's just hold on a few more weeks and then we should be fine and force on the Prussians, and that way they do not take Schleswig-Holstein from us. Look at that, France is also giving us military assistance. I am loving that. Thank you very much, France. Genuinely, if it wasn't for the French, we probably would have lost against the Prussians in this war, let's face it. We are not as strong as to take on the Prussians by ourselves, and we did cut down to size on the Prussians, which means they liberated all the lands they took. So now we've got a massive Schwarzburg, a massive Waldeck, a Württemberg that is independent. What is that, Württemberg or Hohenzollern? It's Hohenzollern, but it's independent. And also the north has gained its independence. So Prussia is basically Kaputski now. Ain't no way they're gonna come back from that. And it looks like we still have the Dutch in this war. I didn't know the Dutch joined on their side, but whatever, don't care. I'm gonna capitulate, don't need to worry about them. Now we can also build a ton of silk silk plantations in Vietnam. Let's get 5 or 6, 7, 8, 10 of them. I don't know, a lot of silk plantations. I want a lot of them, okay? And more importantly, we can launch the unification play to form Scandinavia. I think I'm going to pull a little bit of a cheeky move, and I'm going to do some naval invasions in this particular war to make it finish a little bit faster. Seems like my tactic worked, and we have just invaded the capital of Sweden, making a secondary front in this war. How is it that they're still completely stuck in Scania? I literally took the entirety of Sweden, and they're still stuck in Scania. They really want to keep on to this province, don't they? All right, there you go. We got Sweden. Now we just got to take Norway and Finland. Oh, my dude. Norway had a rebellion, and the rebellion basically broke away. But that means I still have the claim on this state, though, right? I don't have the claim. Oh, come on, game. I swear, dude. Sometimes this game is just the most Pepega thing ever. It really, really does work in absolutely mysterious ways. I don't get it. Like, I really don't get this game sometimes. We were like basically close to losing the unification with Finland. Look at that. We lost these 2 provinces. We didn't take, like, what? Why? Why? Come on. This is so stupid. I lost these 2 provinces and I didn't take the Norwegian bit because they broke away in a rebellion. Like, brother, you actually serious right now? And it's costing me 17 to just take this one province, which has 700,000 pops and 480 GDP. Like, come on. All right, let's actually incorporate everything. On the bright side, though, getting all of Scandinavia does mean that we have massively expanded our population pool of accepted pops, so we're gonna be tripling in GDP in a few moments. Also, check it out, we are now the world's 7th great power, 13.4 standard of living, 21 million population, which is just absolutely crucial to our expansion from now. Prussia's right after us, though. Prussia, despite having lost the war, is still at 37 million, above the Austrians, with the Russians above us. You know what, I'll take it. It's not too bad overall, bro. Okay, we've changed our production methods, and that alone made us gain like 50,000 or something like that ducats. All right, do they have any other provinces? Nope, it is just this one province. Okay, let's quickly attack that and take it out. Sadly, for the rest of Finland, I'm not going to attack the Russian Empire just to take these 2 provinces, especially since there's like no people living here anyway. So they can keep it for now. Look how beautiful we look, though, man. That is actually amazing. Wait, can we change our country's name to Scandinavia? Do I want to, though? That's the real question. I feel like Denmark looks a lot better. Oh, we can actually switch to proportional taxation. We have quite a lot of support for that from the trade unions, which of course are in charge right now. We got 18% clout for the trade unions, which is really not bad. So let's go ahead and do that, modernize our nation in essence. And heck, I'm gonna press the Scandinavia button just because I know some people are gonna be like, Ludi, you should press the Scandinavia button. There you go, Scandinavia in all of its glory, which means now we have as accepted cultures Norwegian, Swedish, Danish, and Icelandic. We didn't accept the Finns. We don't need to, though. It's almost as accepted. It's the same thing because of our legislation is basically the same. I'll leave it off here. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.